Oh, hello there. You miss me? I'm back. It's Shaq's house over here. I've been gone for about 4 weeks now, but it's time for me to actually start talking about What If. Yeah, so far it's been 4 episodes deep, and oh, you like my shirt? Time Variance Authority. You see this joint right here? Uh-huh. For all time, always. Yeah, What If so far, I like what I've seen so far in this series. I like how in the first episode, it was what if Peggy Carter became the super soldier instead of Steve Rogers? Yeah, and she became Captain Carter, and what if Captain Carter became the first Avenger? It was really good. That was a good episode, a good way to start it out. And it showed, Steve Rogers becoming the Ironmonger, him having his skinny ass having to go in the Ironmonger suit now, while Peggy Carter takes all the glory as Captain Carter. She's basically Captain Britain, and this may be, well, actually no, I'm not going to do with any speculation. I was going to say it's going to be the first time that we've seen their first intro for Captain Britain into the MCU, but it's not exactly that. The second episode, what if T'Challa became the legendary Star-Lord? What if he was the one that Yondu captured instead of Peter Quill? Another good episode because it showed T'Challa, he's more chill, he's a calm dude, and he was able to use that in order to persuade Thanos from becoming all genocidal and whatnot. The third episode, what if the Avengers were no more? What if they never came to be? What if somebody was taking out the Avengers one by one, and that someone was Dr. Henry Pym for revenge for Nick Fury getting his daughter Hope killed? But this one right here, what if Doctor Strange had not lost his hands but his heart? That one has far-reaching consequences, I think, and I'll tell you why. Because the Watcher, who narrates the What If series, he actually takes a more active role in this episode. Yeah, but let me just backtrack. The episode, it diverges at the point where Doctor Strange, where he was in the movie where he was headed to that party, that's where this universe diverges. Only here, his friend and love interest, Christine Palmer, she goes with him. His car, the car accident still occurs, but she dies in the car accident. And his hands, Doctor Strange's hands, they never get injured, but rather his heart. His heart is hurt, heartache. That's what they mean by what if his heart was injured. So he's grief-stricken, but he still ends up under the Ancient One's tutelage, right? Still ends up under the Ancient One's tutelage. He still beats Dormammu, but he still longs for Christine. So, having gained knowledge that the Eye of Agamotto is really the Time Stone, he uses the Time Stone to go back in time to save her. He makes multiple attempts, just like that Ashton Kutcher movie, The Butterfly Effect. Yeah, but she dies in each permutation, and even in one where he doesn't even bother to pick her up that night. So the Ancient One finally appears and explains to Doctor Strange that Christine Palmer's death is inevitable in this reality. It's an absolute point in time. He cannot change it. It has to happen in order for Strange to beat Dormammu and become the Sorcerer Supreme. But he does not accept that, and she warns him that any further action on his part could end that reality. So he teleports out, and he's looking for Cagliostro, the sorcerer who could break an absolute point in time. He finds Cagliostro's citadel or whatever, and then proceeds to read every book in his library about time travel and breaking absolute points. And Doctor Strange learns that he has the power, that he can, well, not have the power, but he can gain the power to do so by absorbing the mystical power of other entities. At first, he summons a giant mystic Hydra-type octopus-looking motherfucker, right? He summons him, asking him if he can borrow his power, but the octopus was like, no, fuck that, just grabs him and just slams him down multiple times. So then that makes Doctor Strange realize that he can't ask, but he has to take instead. He's got to take their power. So he starts off small. He summons a demonic David the Gnome-looking elf motherfucker and absorbs him. Then he moves on to other mystical animals, even a dragon. The Watcher, who's narrating the story, he mentions that he could jump in, He could jump in, yeah. But that would risk all the other what-if universes out there. And this Doctor Strange briefly senses his presence. And having gained enough power, he resummons the Hydra monster and absorbs it. But his guide into Cagliostro's citadel, Obang, he's dying. He doesn't want the now powerful Doctor Strange to save his life, but instead gives him a very startling revelation, that there's another Doctor Strange in this reality. Yeah, there's two. The one that we've been seeing the whole episode, and the other who decides not to use the Eye of Agamotto to time travel. It's this version who sees that the world is coming apart, right? The world's coming apart, and what's it called? That's when the Ancient One reappears. Although the Ancient One died in the Doctor Strange feature film back in 2016, the version that we're seeing right at this moment, she's an echo. Yeah, she couldn't follow. She tells us and him that she couldn't follow Doctor Strange into the past so that he could stop him from talking to Cagliostro and gaining his knowledge. So what she did was she used a lot of Dark Force energy, Dormammu energy, in order to split Doctor Strange's timeline. Yeah, and by doing so, that split his power. So she split Doctor Strange's timeline in one universe. We see this Doctor Strange, a good one, and the demonic one who's corrupted by power. The good one now has to stop his misguided demonic self, who just found his good self and brought him over to his dwelling. Yeah, the bad Doctor Strange is now Strange Supreme. Yeah, he refused to accept Christine's death. He defeats the good Doctor Strange and absorbs his power and becomes a real monster, a real demonic monster. But in this form, he's able to save Christine, bring her back to life, but she's too freaked out by him, and the universe is still coming apart anyway. That's when this Doctor Strange, he finally communicates with the Watcher, forcing the Watcher to reveal his presence. The Watcher chides him for meddling with time, as Doctor Strange begs for help. But the world's still destroyed. Christine dies. And that's how the episode ends. However, I think the fact that Doctor Strange was able to perceive the Watcher, really, and how in no other episodes nobody else was, that'll have far-reaching consequences. Like when we see the Doctor Strange sequel, The Multiverse of Madness, he's going to make an appearance there. And props to Jeffrey Wright for narrating, for being the voice of the Watcher. I don't see nobody else doing that but him. What else? The next episode apparently is supposed to be about Thor, and they've been saying that they're going to have that one episode in there where Christine Palmer in this what if reality, she actually picks up the hammer of Thor and is able to lift it. If that's the case, I got a really big surprise for y'all. That's what I got right now, but tune in next week. I'm going to keep on doing this next week. Promise.